Exploding head. No one expected this. Filipino rappers Tabla plus rap combo stuns the world. Fire. Simon speechless. The lights dimmed, and a hush fell over the massive studio audience of Britain's Got Talent. The crowd, restless from hours of auditions, leaned forward as the next contestant walked onto the stage, a slim young man with a shy smile, holding not a guitar or a mic stand, but a tabla, the classical Indian drum. He wore a faded denim jacket, his sneakers a little worn, and his nervous energy filled the air. "Hello," he said softly, his accent warm and unpolished. "My name is Arvin Cruz, and I'm from the Philippines." Simon Cowell gave him the usual look, the one that mixed curiosity with skepticism. A rapper with a tabla? That was new. The audience exchanged murmurs. Some chuckled. Arvin took a deep breath, bowed slightly to the judges, and sat cross-legged on the stage floor. For a moment, there was silence. Then, tap, tap, tap. The tabla began to speak. Its rhythm was alive, pulsing like a heartbeat. But then something magical happened. Arvin began to rap, his voice raw, soulful, and rhythmic, blending seamlessly with the beats he crafted with his bare hands. His words weren't about fame or money. They were about struggle, family, and the quiet strength of kindness in a world that often forgets it. "We rise from dust, not diamonds rare. Mama's tears, Papa's prayer. Streets teach truth the books don't share. Still, we give love, that's how we repair." The audience fell silent. The laughter that had greeted him turned into awe. The rhythm built, his hands flying over the drum with impossible speed, his voice rising with each verse. Then came a pause. Arvin lifted his eyes and said softly, "This song, it's for my mother. She couldn't afford my music school, but she sold her wedding ring so I could buy this tabla." The crowd gasped. His voice broke slightly, but he smiled and continued, "She said music is meant to heal, not to impress. So tonight, I want to heal someone." He began his final verse, slow, deliberate, every word soaked with meaning. "If you feel unseen, this beat's for you. If you've lost your light, this flame burns true. You don't need gold to shine, just heart. That's how the broken make their art." When he finished, the hall was silent again. And then, an explosion of applause. The audience rose to their feet, many with tears in their eyes. Simon Cowell, known for his iron composure, blinked rapidly and leaned forward. "I've seen thousands of performances," he said, his voice softer than usual. "But I've never seen anything quite like that. You didn't just perform, you touched people." Arvin's lips trembled. He pressed his hands together in gratitude. "Thank you, sir. Back home, we don't have much. But music taught me something, when you share what little you have, it grows." What no one knew then was that Arvin almost never made it to that stage. A week before the audition, he had been sleeping at a London train station. His visa and his last savings had gone into buying a second-hand tabla after his original one cracked mid-flight. He'd been busking outside subway stations to eat, often earning just enough for bread and tea. One evening, while playing, he noticed a little boy watching him from across the street, thin, barefoot, with hungry eyes. The boy's mother sat nearby, crying quietly. Without thinking, Arvin gave the boy all the coins he had earned that day. It wasn't much, but he smiled and said, "You can't play music on an empty stomach." The boy's mother hugged him, whispering, "God bless you." That night, Arvin went to sleep hungry, but at peace. The next morning, a stranger approached him outside the station. "Are you the guy who gave that family your earnings?" the man asked. Arvin nodded, embarrassed. The man smiled. "I saw that. You deserve a chance." He handed Arvin an audition slip for Britain's Got Talent. "I work with the crew. Come tomorrow. Don't waste it." And that's how a hungry busker ended up standing before millions, his music echoing across the world. Overnight, his performance went viral. The clip of his tabla and rap fusion spread across social media, millions of views within hours. Comments flooded in, "This restored my faith in humanity, his words healed something I didn't know was broken." But Arvin didn't chase fame. Instead, he used his new platform to start a small foundation back home, Rhythms of Hope. It provided free music lessons to children from poor communities, using recycled instruments and donated tablas. "Music saved me," he said in an interview months later. "Now, it's my turn to let it save someone else." Years later, Simon Cowell invited Arvin back as a guest performer. The crowd cheered as he took the stage again, now more confident but still humble. Mid-performance, he paused, looked into the camera, and said, "Wherever you are, whatever you have, it's enough to make a difference. You just have to give it away." The music swelled, his tabla thundered like a heartbeat, and the crowd rose once more, not just for his talent, but for his heart. Because in the end, it wasn't the rap, the rhythm, or even the fame that stunned the world. It was the reminder that kindness, simple, selfless kindness, can turn even the smallest beat into a global symphony. And as the final note faded, Arvin smiled. Somewhere out there, a mother in the Philippines was watching her son, and the world, finally listening. Sparkle's moral: true greatness doesn't come from what you achieve, it comes from what you give, even when you have nothing left.